Warm welcome to our Masters, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Recently, disasters have happened so rampantly, one after another, due to the great imbalance of four elements. Now with COVID-19 virus pandemic around the world, Master have great concern and earnestly urge everyone to repent and adopt vegetarian meal. Going vegetarian is a way to express our sincere piety, to pray for peace and a world free of disasters. It is the purest way of love for all living beings. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sahara land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. From my heart, I pray. May we join our hands, our hearts as one. Spread the seeds of great love, nurture wisdom evermore. Let us fill the world with hope. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas know my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
Just the feeling for this.
In
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Let us recite the universal love and blessings together. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we listen to the wonderful sharings, let us invite our masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gem. Let us pay our respects to these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our abode masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have Brother David's Q&A session, and we have it will be followed by Sister Su Ching. This special program, different format. Let us listen to this after Brother David's Q&A session. Okay, now let us hand over to Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you.感恩.
Okay, sorry, bit kalam kabut this morning. Hey, last week we had Sister Mei Feng, and she was calling from Germany. A timely reminder in the morning to love all beings of every kind. Regardless of religion, race, creed, we need to be colorblind. Now I extend this love to all sentient living, conscious creatures here on earth, every soul with a face or a mother that has given it birth. Then we all know instinctively true that the earth is our mother. And as we expand this goodwill to all, we will be gentle to all things and to each other. Beware the guise of economic growth and the veil of wealth cloaked in consumption. For resources are exhausted at an exponential rate, depleting much with hazardous emissions. All of us are capable of educating ourselves on everything we can do. We can preserve Earth's resources and embrace a protection and conservation view. Tzu Chi has many things to share on the efforts that are continuously done. This is a combined and collective effort for the future of this world that we have, just this one. And then this is unusual because I have to do a summary on myself. And not so desirable initially. Set the stage of a series of fortunate happenings that are most extraordinary. One of studying in KL and the life which then unfolded led me to an important belief that goodness is attracted to me and me to it. The other of my son going through his very trying early teens, his moodiness and extremes, which made me rethink my priority and dreams. As I identified my big rocks and placed them in my jar first, what I thought I was giving up came back to me in proposals, sincere and earnest. Also a final mention to our habitual tendencies through thoughts and speech. Make it positive so that goodness can swing back and reach. To us, all that we desire, seek, and want. That is a short summary of last Saturday mornings from me, the Penang Knight and accountant. That's it. From me, Kan En for listening. I'll pass over to, I believe, the Sister Stephanie to introduce our next speaker.
And then Sister Su Ching. Yeah, Sister Su Ching for the wonderful summary of yourself. Okay, a very good morning, brothers and sisters, and a warmest welcome to Brother David Liu. 师伯早安。
早。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Time really flies, we are back again to our Q&A session.
OK.
时间走得很快哈。
很快。
一眨眼
Time
我们又
flying.
再见面。
Yeah, time's flying.
Time really flies. Master always begin with that. Okay, so today, just let me share the questions, Sipo.
Okay.
Before that, Sipo, do you have anything you want to share with us from the abode?
Okay, I use few minutes to share with you the action of our relief operation in for Ukraine refugees.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah. Actually, after this, the Russia and Ukraine fighting, and so many, more than 4 million refugees from Ukraine to Poland, right? So, Su Chi Foundation, we want to take action to help those Ukraine refugees. But from this, we want to learn how is Master Ching's mindset for relieving for the Ukraine refugees, as the helping the refugees is something different from helping the victims from the disaster. Different, because the refugees issue is something to do with the war fighting, and the victim is pertaining to it's pertaining to the natural disaster. It's different, you know. So must be very cautious and be careful. So far in Europe, we don't have so many volunteers like Malaysia or Southeast country or other country, right? Very few volunteers there. And also the in European country, there are so many countries conjectured together in one region, right? So far now, the Ukraine refugees escaped to the Poland and the neighbor countries, 5 or 6 countries. So we are very difficult to control the one place which the refugees gathering, very difficult because they are 他们是变动的 very hard to control. And so far we are seeking for the information where can get volunteer, where the refugees gathering in one spot, you know. So Master tell us, before you want to do the relief operation, you have to research so many things. Not only we want to help the refugees, we have to use wisdom. We have to do so many researches before we take action. So far we are seeking for so many channels how to control the where the refugees they go to Poland, and which city or which province in Poland is most refugees gathering there, and where is the nice place for our relief operations. So we have one sister from Germany. She drove more than 12 hours to Poland. The one city we say the Lublin, this city gathering so many Ukrainian refugees. Yeah. So far we are waiting for her news back, and so far we are standby to collect so many information. Then we can start to plan how to give help, give assistance. Yes, this is the current situation. So I use this opportunity to let everybody knows. Yeah, we want to help, but we have to do very cautious and carefully. Yeah. Okay. And yesterday, 1st of April, Malaysia already relaxed the restrictions, right? So many tourists that there's no need to so the visitors enter Malaysia no need to get the PCR test, no need.
I think you still have to do tests, but you don't have to be quarantined.
Not need to be quarantined, right? In Singapore, also relax the restriction now. Singapore, right? In restaurant, before they control under 5 people, 1 table, 5 people. But now they relax to 10 people now. So in so many countries, like in Cambodia, 17th of March, they already opened they already relaxed. So the current situation seems good for us, but in Taiwan, still very strict. Yeah. Although in Taiwan, the cases not many, but these 2 days increased. Yesterday, records, the confirmed cases more than 100. 3 or 4 days, still single number, less than 10. But Taiwan government very strict. So all the people enter Taiwan still have to be quarantined, you know. So if the Southeast country open, we go there is very easy, but we come back, it's not easy. We have to be quarantined. This is not convenient for us, you know. So yeah, we are waiting if Taiwanese government can also relax the restrictions, no need to be quarantined. Okay, then this is the good timing for us to go abroad, right? So many people want to go, so many people want to come, right? Yeah.
Looking forward.
Yeah, so let's pray for this future hope, right? Already 2 years, everybody locked down in their own city. Yeah, okay. This is information for you. So can we start?
Yeah, we can start. Brother David. So I shall start the questions that we have this week. Okay. Brother can see the question number 1?
Yes.
Okay. So this question says that I heard that by chanting the Diamond Sutra 3,000 times, I can break the attachment to name and form. Or by chanting certain sutra, I can gain liberation. Is it true?
Okay. This may be in Buddhism, there are so many different schools to learn. Like Tzu is Tzu Zong, right? Tzu school of Buddhism. This is something different from the other Buddhism. Okay, like the Pure Land school. Yeah, they emphasize how many for how you chant, then you can go to the Pure Land after you pass away, right? So all the school is good, but for Tzu school of Buddhism, Master Chen Yan doesn't emphasize we have to 念佛号, okay, 念佛, or you chant the sutra. The Master doesn't emphasize on this. Master emphasize on taking action. 我们不是念经啊 ，chanting we are not chanting sutra. Yeah, 我们是行经啊，行经啊。
We are walking the path of the sutra.
Yeah, that means
the path of the sutra.
Yeah, take Buddha Dharma into daily life. Yeah, take Buddha Dharma into implementation. That we call the Tzu school of Buddhism is Buddhism in action, right? Buddhism in action. That means you have to take action, not only chanting. You know. Okay, but in the morning meditation and in an evening meditation in our Tzu abode, okay, we are still chanting. That's the morning and evening meditation. 我们的早晚课嘛，对。And yeah, sometimes for Tzu volunteer, we participate the training course. We also have the class for the chanting, right? Sometimes, but not very long, right? So we are still chanting, but why we are chanting? Because when we are chanting, the meaning is we want to know what is the 佛理, the 佛法, what is the
The
Buddha Dharma?
principle. The principle.
Yeah. What is the Buddha Dharma? 了解它的佛理的 realize why we are learning Buddhism. Yeah. Let us understand the meaning of the sutra. Not only chanting, we have to know when you are chanting, when you are reading the sutra, you have to know what is the real meaning of this sutra. This is main purpose why we want to chant, not only because we are, how many times we are chanting sutra, we can get the merits. So there are one sentence said by Master Ching. I think all the volunteers must be very clear. So Master say, 要别人念啊哈。For example, we are chanting for the dead, right? 助念嘛哈。We are chanting for the dead. For this issue, must teach us. If we want other people, suppose we have some family member pass away, right? The master say, if you want other people to chant for your family, from family people, it's better your family chant by yourself. If your family members can chant for the dead, it will be better if you can chant by yourself for the
before you die. Before you die,
you have better chant by yourself. Okay. If before you die you can chant for yourself, it will be much better. You can do by yourself.
Yeah.
You cultivate the blessings for yourself, not counting, not chanting by yourself. This is very important ideology of Master Ching. Yeah. So
this is the Siew School of Buddhism.
Yeah. So yes, for Siew School of Buddhism, the sutra is not only for chanting. Most importantly, is for taking action. That's why we call this is a Bodhisattva path, right? Bodhisattva path means you have to go into the crowd, go into the disaster area, right? To help the victims, help the poor people, help the people in need. This we say this we call the 慈济宗门, 慈济 School of Buddhism. Okay, this is only half. The other half is you also have to go into the sutra. Go into the sutra, 深入经藏. Doesn't mean you chant every day. No. Go into the sutra also means you have to realize what is the main meaning of this sutra you chant. Then you take this Buddha Dharma, take this Buddha Dharma into action, means go into the crowd to help the people. Yeah. So this is the Tzu Chi ideology.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, but if you like to chant, also we can say this also good thing, better than no chanting, right? Yeah, so, do nothing, right? You want to chant, also good, but you have no. The chanting sutra for us is asking the road where to go. Chanting sutra for Tzu Chi School of Buddhism to say is asking where to go, right? Taking action means you are on the way to go, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. So
our chanting is to seek the direction. Our doing is to walk towards the direction.
Yes.
Right.
This for Tzu Chi School of Buddhism to say. Okay. Okay. I think this must be clear.
Okay. So we are not talking about other school of Buddhism. We refer back to our school of Buddhism. Chanting is not to get, you cannot gain the liberation.
Yeah,
but you have to do and chant together. Yeah.
Yes. If chanting only one side, the other side is going to the crowd. Yeah, to help the people. Yeah.
就是福慧双修啦，哈。福和慧。
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to deeply explanation means you go to help the people. That's the compassion, right?
Yeah.
You go into the go into the sutra. That is the
wisdom.
wisdom. Okay. Yeah. The compassion, the action of compassion is visible. 有形的. Right. Go into the sutra. You realize the Buddha Dharma. That is the invisible.
Yeah.
So
intangible.
一个是有为，一个是无为。一个是有为，一个是无为，一个是有形，一个是无形。
Yeah, one is unconditioned, one is tangible, and then
Yes.
the principle is intangible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So these two principles are very important in Buddha Dharma path. Must go parallel.
Parallel. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So this practice is only one-sided. Chanting is just very small part of it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So I hope the person who asked this question, the brother or sister who asked this question, can understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we go to the next one.
Okay.
下一个，等一下。下一个is this one. Brother David, is donating blood considered higher merit compared to other types of donation? 就是捐血啦。
Okay.
Is it 功德比较大？
对。
Compared to other donation, maybe donation of money.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we start to learn Buddhism. We start to learn the Buddha Dharma. We cannot have the comparison, which donation is more merit. If you have this comparison, it means 你已经有所求了. You already have the desire to ask for return, right? If once we have this kind of mindset, this is not good for our cultivation. Because when we want to cultivate ourselves, we want to liberate ourselves, we must eliminate the 分别心, sense distinction. We don't want to compare. Why we have so many afflictions? Because we compare so many things, right?
Yeah.
Which wrong, which good, which better, which bad. We always compare it. We always compare. Let's get the afflictions. So for the donation, also same thing. Don't compare which donation, which giving is more merit. But we have to know the meaning of the giving. In Buddhism, we say there are three kinds of giving, right? 财施、法施、无畏施, right? Giving wealth, giving Dharma, giving fearlessness, right? These three of the givings all have its merits. We have to know this theory 理论呢要知道. Okay, if you are poor, you giving money, you donate the money. That means you are giving wealth. Giving Dharma, like now, I'm sharing with you now, right? For me to say is giving Dharma, right? And giving fearlessness. This means this more big room. Anything you want, I give you. Anything you need, I help you. This is not focused on I give you money, right? I give you Dharma. No. Know this name, know this form, right? As long as the people need, we do our best to give help. This we call the giving fearlessness. Okay. So for blood donation, it belongs to this giving fearlessness.
Yeah.
属于无畏施的哈. Not only give the blood, donate the blood, donate the organs, and donate the bone marrow, donate the body after we die, right? Or you give the money to build a hospital. Okay, you give the money to buy the medical equipment, right? that this all in the we can say in giving fearlessness. So these three kinds of the giving based on Dharma giving. Although we say the giving fearlessness is more, can say can get the effect of the health, our health. It's something to do with the long life, right? Although we say so, but the three donations is based on the Dharma giving, because since we are the Buddhists, we have to know when Buddha in 涅槃的时候啊，这个涅槃怎么讲呢？
涅槃啊
，Vinama 啊，when Dharma when Buddha going to pass away, before he passed away, he give the teachings to his disciples. When I was alive, everybody 以我为主嘛，以我为师嘛 ，right? Take Buddha as the teacher. Yeah, but after I die, I pass away, you have to take Buddha Dharma as your teacher, and take the precepts as your teacher, right? It's something like the Hualien before the Buddha Dharma died. He gave the disciples. So you can know why the Buddha Dharma is so important. So these three donations based on the Dharma giving. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is but we don't compare. Okay. As long as has affinity to help the people, we don't care. He need money. He leave the living material. He leave the comfort. We go to comfort them, right? Or we build a house. We build a house for them, or we use the wisdom to comfort them, to counsel them, right?
Console them.
So, yeah. So, can I say donation blood? Higher merits, yeah.
Actually, in terms of giving, it's actually you're supposed to be giving away your attachment. I think this is still attached to more or less. Actually, 我们布施是要把我们的这个烦恼啊，还是我们的执着啊，把它 we are giving away our attachment. So if we are donating and still comparing, we are still attached to the merits, you see, right? And I think
actually you donate to help the people.
Yeah.
This we say this cultivating the fortune field.
Field of blessing. Field of blessing.
Yeah, this belongs to the compassion, merit. Okay, you donate the material or the money, right, or the blood. But if you want to liberate the attachment, this is another issue. You have to go into Buddha Dharma. You have to realize the meaning of the Buddha Dharma. And take this Buddha Dharma into your daily life to prove. I use this Buddha Dharma to solve the problem, to use in the human relationship, right? To release my, to keep my equanimity to all the people. I don't insist my own opinion. This you have to use the Buddha Dharma to use in your daily life. So if you want to liberate your attachment, everybody has this tendency, right? We always insist our own opinion, right? So how to liberate this attachment? Don't insist your opinion anymore. That you have to use the Buddha Dharma, because this is a wondrous Dharma, the Buddha Dharma you can use in your working, in your living as well.
Okay, so the gist of it is not to compare the merit, give without expectation.
That's it, yes. So you can see in our volunteer, some volunteers are very friendly, very compassionate. Yeah, he can help so many people, he can donate so much money, but 很固执，很执着啊。
Oh, very attached to a certain view, lah. Very
Yeah.
attached to the self view.
Yeah, although he is very compassionate, very friendly to the people, help the people, so many people, give so many money, but very attached, right?
Mm.
Yeah. He is he is using his attachment to do the good deeds, not use his wisdom to do the good deeds, right?
Mm.
Yeah. This we have to warn ourselves also.
Mm.
Yeah.
How? So no attachment to the merits, just give
Yes,
without
yes.
expectation. Giving means give away attachment.
Right. This
Alright.
is one of our purpose to
Hurdle,
learning
hurdle.
Buddha Dharma.
Yeah.
Hurdle. Yeah,
Good,
it's our
good.
hurdle. Yeah, this is our hurdle also. Yeah.
Good,
We
good,
have
good.
jumped over this hurdle. Yeah. If we want to learn Buddhism. Yeah.
好，感恩啊，师婆。
Okay.
All right. What a wonderful question. I hope it's answered to the person who's asked this. Okay, next.
Yeah. Very good question.
Very good question. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Simple question, but a lot of profound answers. Okay. Number 3, I really want to be a good Buddhist, but I am so poor to remember the sutra verses. How can I be a good Buddhist if I cannot remember the verses?
Same me.
David?
Yeah. Okay. Very poor in remembering the verses. Very hard to remember the sutra, right? Right. This means very difficult to remember the sutra also, right?
记性不好啦，就是 memory no good.
Me too. I feel difficult to remember the sutra as well. No. But but I have used wisdom to learn Buddha Dharma, use wisdom to remember. So you have to use your 好的记忆力, use your good remembering, a good remembering to remember the sutra. Use your not good remembering to forget the bad thing. Not everything very good remembering, you have to choose, right? Yeah, good thing we remember, but not bad thing we have to forget. We don't need to remember. Okay, but how to use our wisdom to remember the verses or the sutra? For me to say, I also feel difficult to remember all the sutra. It's so difficult and so very hard to realize, But I have to choose the sentence, choose the sutra or verses, which is the same frequency as mine.
Resonate.
Yeah.
Resonate.
Yeah. 它可以就是is 我比较有体会的啦。
对
You
the verses that resonate with you lah. Same frequency means a resonate.
Yeah. Like the 尽思 aphorism, right? There are so many 尽思 aphorism, right? But some are difficult to realize. But some are some sentence is our tendency. This is just like talking to me, right? Yeah. So I have to remember this very deeply. Keep there in mind. Never forget, right? Yeah. So we don't need to remember so many sutra and verses because it is too many. But most importantly is remember the key point. There are so many sentences, so many sutra, but you have to remember the key point. Or just like the Master Ching Yen, how she teach all the volunteers. Master Ching Yen not always talking about so many difficult sutra. No, he always take so many the living example right? And to prove the Buddha Dharma and teach the volunteer and her disciples. Okay, something like, for example, Master Ching Yuan teach us only 4 wordings. 见苦知福. Right? You cherish your blessings after you view the sufferings. 见苦知福. 心宽念存. Right? Some of these words, it looks like very simple wording, but you have to deeply thinking, deeply remembering, and take this sentence into our daily life, join in our life, right? So the sutra or the Chinese aphorism is not let us to remember only, 不是让我们死记呀，不是死记的 not only let us to remember only, but let us to take it, to use it in our working, in our daily life. So you don't have to remember too many Diamond Sutra or verses, you know. You can see so many volunteers, they write down so many master teaching in note, 对，做笔记啊，对不对？ So there are so many books of their note after they learn and they listen to master teaching, right? They write so many notebook. But when you want to use, when he want to use, he even cannot choose any one sentence to use in his daily life. This is what we call in Hokkien way.滿天鑽金條，要紗無半條。How to explain? 華語啊，滿天是金條啊，要抓沒半條啊。
Oh, okay. Okay.
How to explain?
Well, that means you
There
have,
are so many
you know
goals
a
in
lot,
heaven.
you know a lot, but yet none belong to you.
Yeah.
對嗎?
Yeah.
You have a lot, but actually none, belong to you.
Yeah, but according to this this sentence, I say the 滿天是金條啊，要抓沒半條啊。No, there are so many gold in the sky, but you even cannot take one from them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
because you didn't practice.
Yeah. You have to go step by step. You remember one by one. This one sentence, this one aphorism, this one sutra is good for me. I can easily understand. Okay, you remember it, never forget. And not only remember, you have to use this sentence in your daily life, in your working. Yeah, to prove it. Okay, I get it. I do it successfully. Yeah, this is the practical way to learn Buddhism. Yeah, not we have to, not you have to remember so many sutra. No.
Okay. So it's not about, it's not the knowledge, it's not the remembering, it's not your memory. It's when you put it into practice and you will remember it forever because you realize it already belongs to you. It's already carved inside. Like Master say, carved inside the heart.
Yeah, but one thing also very, if only remembering is easy to forget. But if you use this sentence combine in your daily life, then after you taking this action, this sentence or this Genesis aphorism or this sutra, you never forget because you already done it, right?
It belongs to you.
That's why Master emphasize on taking action. After taking action and prove this Buddha Dharma, Buddha Dharma you never forget. Okay. Yeah.
So don't be too concerned about the memory. Put it to practice. You'll remember it forever. It is yours. The goal is no longer in the sky. The goal is in your pocket.
In hand. Better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. 好，来下一个。Okay. Next one. Oh, this one. 婆媳关系。来 question number 5. I often feel pressurized to be in my mother-in-law's.
One minute. The number question 4, right?
Question 4 已经
No. This question.
Oh, question 4. Sorry. 来。
Yeah.
Question 4. 对，不好意思。 My
Okay,
19
okay.
years old son refused to listen to my advice. Is lazy to study. What should I do? As a parent, we only wish the best for him. 来，是不？
这题吗？就这题吗？
啊？
不是很多。
对。
好，
这是
okay. That means this volunteer say her 19 years old son refused to listen to her. All right. This is our problem as well. Everybody has this problem. Sometimes our children don't listen to us. Sometimes we want to share in Buddha Dhamma with the volunteers, but volunteers also won't listen to us, right? Same problem for Master Ching Yen. When she wants to teach the volunteers or the commissioner how to do, how to think, how to work, everything, but the volunteer or the disciples also don't listen to her, to Master Ching Yen also, right? Yeah. So this we say the affinity, something to do the affinities, you know. 你刚刚有讲到婆媳嘛，他讲儿子嘛，对。你刚刚讲他儿子，他没有讲婆媳。
婆媳是下一个，不好意思。
婆媳下一个，对，好。Okay. That's why we have to know when we are facing these living problems. Okay. Sorry. So we have to know why I have these problems, right? I want to find out the reason why I have these problems with this, you know. So at this time, we have to go back to the Buddhism, the Buddha Dhamma. Okay, we have to know the theory of these problems. Okay, for example, there is one sentence very important, okay, taught by Master Ching Yen. She said, "The parent 怎么讲啊？父母只能生孩子的身啊，不能生孩子的心啊。
Okay.
啊，
So
这个英文
as parents, we give birth to the child, the physical body of the child.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Not his life, because his life is from his own karma, right?
Yes. He cannot give birth only for the body, physical body only.
Of the child. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids mind and heart cannot be given by parents, because this is something to do his previous life. Yeah, his past life.
His karma.
Maybe his past life is a monk, right? So he is given birth by you, by you, mother, right? But he is more wise than the mother, because his past life different from yours. And some parents are very nice, very excellent in studying and learning and cultivating, all very nice, but they have a kid very headache. Nobody believes this kid is given birth by his mother in this family. How come? So nice parents, but why they get one very bad kids? Why? So if you know the Buddha Dhamma, you know this is very possible. This is very possible, because some kids to our family is come to great 感恩的啦。
Come to repay us, repay.
Yeah, repay. Yeah,
pay,
yeah,
pay us.
yeah. These kids come to us, come to our family, is repay us, because in our past life, right? We also repay to him. So in this life, he come to repay to us. 他来感恩的嘛。So you feel this kid is something very particular, right? Even we don't teach him so much, but he knows very well. Yeah, he's very polite. Everything listen to parents. Very easy to teach.
Yes.
So nice kids, right? So these come to repay us. That we don't have too much headache for him. You know, he can behave himself very well,
Yeah.
right? But some case also, the parents very good, but this kid come here, right? Always give trouble, right? And the parents always, yeah.
Like 讨债
And
collect that.
讨债啊, yeah, this how to say that 讨债, he come to
Collect the debt.
collect debt. Yeah, this kid come to our family is collect debt, because in our parents' past life, we owe
them.
We owe him, and we didn't pay. So this life, he come to our family, he come to ask for return back, right? So give up so many troubles, problems, headache, and the parents always must manage this. So this is we call the karma, karma. So now you say your kids doesn't want to listen to you. Same us, same me, right? So how to do it? Although these kids come to us under the corrupt debt or under the bad karma, but we want to transform. We want to change. Yeah, before we don't know how to change because we didn't learn Buddha Dharma, right? But now we learn Buddhism. We know how to use our wisdom to transform. Although these kids come to our family, it's not so good. But I want to educate him. I want to change him. How? Use the wondrous Dharma. Use Buddha Dharma. Right? Okay, you have to. You want your kid to listen to you. You have to build a very good affinity with him.
Yeah.
Right? If we don't have good affinity with your kid, then even you speak so many Chinese aphorisms, you speak so many nice verses, he doesn't want to listen because he dislike your teaching or your advice because he dislike you, right? Yeah, your kid doesn't like you, so of course he didn't like to listen to you. Although the sentence or verses you talk to him is very nice, So this is something to do affinity. So how to transform, how to change this affinity? So you want to change your kid. Before you want to change your kid, you have to change yourself, right? Yeah. Master Ching always teach us. You want to educate other people, you have to educate yourself first. You want to change other people, you have to improve yourself first. Start from
self.
Start from us, right? So you have to know the Buddha Dharma. Okay, if really you do your best, but still cannot improve your kids, you have to do the mind training. 转念啊,
You have to transform your mind.
Yeah, you have to transform your mind. How to transform? Before we always lose temper. We always lose temper to our kids, right? Why I advise you, you don't want to listen, right? Before we all lose temper or use father or mother's power to force him, right? But now no, we start to know the Buddha Dharma now. So we want to use the soft power. We don't want to lose temper. We use soft power. That means you have to use wisdom. How to use? You have to know what the Buddha Dharma said. So before, also one mother went to Hualien abode. She has so many complaints to her children. How she complained? She said, she talked to master, my son doesn't like to study, and mother and Master Ching say, no problem. If he doesn't want to study, no problem. As long as he is 乖啦，乖怎么讲
？Obedient，听话 ，obedient。
Yeah, as long as he's obedient, all right. But he doesn't want to study, no problem. If he's obedient, it's okay. That means you still have to satisfy, right? Okay, and this mother say again, but the problem is my kid not only doesn't like to study, also not obedient, or doesn't like to study or not obedient. The master try to educate her again. Okay, then as long as he is healthy, it's okay. As long as he is healthy, 这是干什么？常想一二的。
对。
There are 80-90% things is not satisfied by us in our life. So that's why you have to think of the 10 or 20% of the good things.
Good things, yeah.
Yeah, not always think about the bad thing. Our mind always think about the good things. If you think about the good things, you feel very happy. You always think about the bad thing. Even this bad thing only 10% in your life, but your life still very, very torturing.
Okay.
Right. This we call the mind chanting. We call the mind chanting. Yeah. We call the transform our mind. Okay. So in this case, I suggest you, this mother, must cultivate yourself, must improve yourself first. After you have this body education, right? You don't have to give advice to your son. You don't have talk too much. You just show your body education.
Role model action. Role model.
Yeah. Role model. Yeah. You become a role model, good role model for your son. He didn't say anything, but your son, he can look, he can watch. My mother changed a lot. Before she cursed me, she pressed me, she forced me. I don't like, I dislike. But now she's very nice. Talk to me very gently, very nicely, and especially she is very how to say very rational to me. 同理心啊，是不是？ He's very rational. She always think for me. She always think for me. Stay in my position. Think for me. This we call heart to heart. At this time, you already have the good affinity with your son. Okay, at this moment, you speak only one small sentence, he will listen to you because he liked this mother. Also, yeah, of course, he liked what mother talked to her, talk to him, right? Yeah, this is the wondrous Dharma we say. Yeah, now you have to change your way to educate your children now.
对。We have to transform ourselves. 就是师伯 the summary is that it's all because of the affinity, all right? So we must go back to principles to create good affinity first. 就是有那个爱的存款啦。
Yeah.
We must have
actually in Tzu Chi, there are so many this kind of stories, right? The children are very bad to father and mother.
Yeah.
But before mother and father want to change this kid, to educate this kid, but he didn't want to listen. But eventually the father mother entered Tzu Chi, learned so many wisdom from master and Buddhism. He started to change himself, change the mindset. He improved himself first. Then eventually the kids become better.
Right.
This we call this we call the silent method. 无声说法， 对不对？ Yeah, you talk too much, but the problem your kids doesn't want to listen. But now you keep silent, but your kids improve, right?
This is a good advice.
This because these parents they start to use the silent method. What is silent method? You improve yourself. You have your body education for your kitchen now. Yeah.
Okay. Not using the words, but use the action.
Yes. Yeah.
Not use the word, use the action.
Not by force, not by by mouth. Yeah. By your heart, by your action.
Right. By your action.
Yeah.
Create a good affinity first. Huh?
Yes. Right.
Just like Master said, like the disciple who also have very strong affinity with Master. Master say one thing, they will do a lot, right? Some Master say many times, they still don't do.
Yeah,
because of
but Master,
affinity.
but Master also say give one teaching very important to us. 有缘说话，有缘说话是真理，无缘说话变是非。See how affinity important is.
Yeah. So when we have affinity, what we say is a principle. When we don't have affinity, the same words that come out is
become gossip.
Yeah.
Become gossip.
It's a gossip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So all go back to affinity. Build the bridge first. Build the bridge first. Yeah. Build the bridge first. Okay.
As long as we have good affinity, everything is easy to do. No affinity, nothing can do, right?
No affinity, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
成佛也是这样子哈。
Yes.
Okay. Question number 5 is mother-in-law. Okay. I often feel pressure to be in my mother-in-law's presence. It seems whatever I do is below her expectation. And my in-law always asks for money from my husband. Okay. So I really dislike them. But by understanding Buddhism, I know it's wrong. I need to create, this is creating bad affinity. How should I handle this?
Okay. Mother or father ask money from the children. This is correct. Otherwise, where he ask the money for? From where? right. Our father, mother always ask money from us. Otherwise, where he ask the money from? Right. So, okay. This question also something to do with the affinity. Again, right. That's why we call the Buddhism, the spirit of Buddhism is 2 principles. One is affinity. Talking about the affinity. The other principle is the sequence and affinity. The spirit of the Buddhism is based on affinity and sequence. Affinities, everything depends on based on the affinity, right? And you want to grow up, you want to improve yourself, or you want to teach other people, you want to transform other people. Not in short time. Must be according to the sequence. Slow by slow. Step by step, right? Gradually. Yeah. 学佛没有捷径. Learning Buddhism, no shortcut. You have to learn like us, right? Every day morning meditation, right? Like this, so early morning, everybody come here to study. Day by day, accumulate. After a long time, you see the effect. Same thing. This sister, she said, it seems whatever I do is below her expectations. This also something to do with the affinity between this wife and this mother-in-law, right? But you can see some other mother. She don't do everything very, very well, But her mother-in-law is very satisfied and also very grateful for this daughter, right? Why center is so much different? Because of the affinity. Some mother done a lot, and serve the mother-in-law very well. 95% good, only 5% not satisfied by this mother-in-law. But this mother-in-law complained, why my daughter-in-law so bad, right? But actually she is very good. So this also according to the affinity, right? Here, this mother-in-law always find fault. Although this daughter is very nice, she always find fault. This, we can say, getting bad affinity each other, right? So same thing as the last question, right?
Yes, the child.
You must start to build a good affinity with your mother-in-law. Okay, maybe she will say, I already do my efforts. I already try my best to build a good affinity with my mother-in-law, but she's still not satisfied. Okay, this also belongs to affinity. Very bad affinity, very hard to transform. Right? You cannot ask your mother-in-law to change. Just now we said, right? You want to change, of course she wants to change her mother-in-law, but this is difficult because you also feel difficult to change yourself. Right? But basically you have to start to change yourself first. Then you have opportunity and hope to change your mother-in-law. You still have to start from yourself. Okay. Okay. If in the long run, this mother has done her very best. Nothing can complain now, but her mother-in-law still complain. Right? We can say this is really hard situation, very hard to improve. We only can tolerance. Tolerance. Yeah. Tolerance means give yourself some more time to adjust. You want to improve yourself, yes, but not enough time, right? Maybe you already try quite a long time, but not enough. You have to keep on going to improve yourself, to learn more things, right? You also have to keep some more time for your mother-in-law. Don't complain to her. Let her have, same as you, let her have some more time to adjust. Trying our efforts. After a long time, you change a little bit, your mother-in-law change a little bit, the situation becomes better and better day by day, right? Yeah. Okay. The worst thing, the worst scenario, I already tried, but all in vain. At this timing, it still have to be tolerate. Otherwise, how you do? She is your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And her son is your husband. Right. You are in the middle. Right? So how to do? That's why Master say early morning when I get up, I remind myself two things. We must remember these two things. Okay. Although we don't have good memory, but we have to remember these two principles from Master. Right? She said every morning I get up, I remind myself two things. One thing is gratitude.
Gratitude.
And one thing, yeah. The second thing is tolerance. 堪忍. Tolerance.
Endure.
Endure. Okay, endure. Okay. One is gratitude. The second thing is endure. These two principles is very important in Master Ching's life.
Wow.
See how important it is, right? This enlightened Master, 宇宙大觉者, Master almost like the Buddha already.
Yes.
Master Ching almost like Buddha already. But she only say these 4 words every day when she get up. She must remind herself these two principles, gratitude and endure. So same thing, these two principles are also very important for our daily life, in our life as well. So this, you have to strongly remember this. That's why eventually your mother-in-law still cannot improve, right? Although you've already done so many efforts. Okay, this is the last weapon for us. Right? Okay, keep grateful, keep endure. 2 things. Okay, yeah.
感恩 and endure. I think when you accept you accept first 我们要接受 我们来到这个 we come to this Saha world is endurance we have to endure all this.
Yeah, don't complain and don't reject.
Accept.
Yeah, accept.
Accept.
Yeah.
And create good affinity. So
Okay.
next life will be better.
Do we have time now?
No, I think Subo, we have to keep the last question for next
Okay,
month.
Okay,
Oh,
fast.
Our time is 7:30 already. We have to move on to the next session. So before we go,
sorry.
maybe we would like to say感恩 to Brother David Liu.
Okay, yeah.
For joining us today for this Q&A session. And Brother
Okay,
David, you will
okay.
stay back with us so that we can take a 合照 later.
Okay.
Okay, huh? 好. So I would like to pass the platform back to Sister Su Ching.
Okay.
好，感恩
Okay, thank you
Brother
everybody.
David.
Let's keep diligent. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Sister Su Ching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
感恩 Brother David, 感恩 Sister
Okay, bye.
for the wonderful session, truly. 时间有 not enough time. 感恩 for the next session.
感恩啊 ，Okay, bye.
感恩 Sister Stephanie, the screen I will take over. 感恩 Sister. Okay, 感恩 wow, so many things. We are so grateful, truly 感恩 as Master said, to remember endurance and 感恩. Very grateful. Today we are most grateful to have Brother David with us. Okay, in fact, the next session on this pure heart self stories, I'm going to share the one on Brother David's session, the weekly Sunday session on 13 March 2022. Still water runs deep, capable persons lay low. In my simple mind, it's like the mastery, the art of speaking and listening. We are most grateful. This is a new field of blessing, an ad hoc one, pure heart tell stories where everyone can join. We are opening to everyone. So because there are so many wonderful translation done by this translation team, be it the weekdays, 7 o'clock morning. Sorry, before that, good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, Brother Joe and Brother David, and all the wonderful friends for joining us today. Okay, back to this my sharing today. Wow, I'm still feeling very excited over Brother David's explanation just now. Truly very helpful. Now we have this field of blessing where everyone, after listening and reading the translated strip in English, we could share maybe briefly, even for me today, maybe around 20 minutes on what we have heard and how it has benefited us. In fact, that day I was on duty with the translation team while doing the translation. As Brother David was sharing, I was like, oops, there were so many parts that I felt that I could have done better. So that's why I was so inspired by the sharing of thinking about if I can be, hopefully I can benefit so much, and I hope can benefit others through today's sharing. Hopefully all of us can take in some piece from today's listening, and not like what Brother David said, the gold bars are all over the sky, but we can't even pick up not even half bar. Let's not be that tragic. Hopefully with trust we all the brothers and sisters we could do better. Okay. Brother David mentioned about that. He said speaking is a skill, so is being silent. Both actions originate from our mouth. Every words that we speak is either good or bad karma. There will be this creation of either good or bad karma. So it depends on what we are talking about. So is every arising thoughts. It's not easy to cultivate our speech. A single speech can bring one to a lip. A single speech can bring one to laughter. Just like just now what we have heard. Wow, I'm sure we all have a great time. But yet if we are not mindful, a single speech can even agitate one to hell. That's why sometimes because of words, it leads to argument and fight, and sometimes even to death. As Brother David mentions, the topic he had for that speech was still water runs deep, capable person lays low. It means that this body of water will not tell how deep it is. It is up to us to accept its depth. Similarly, a capable person who is steady in handling all matters will never boast around how good they are about their abilities. They're usually very humble and quiet. So it is up to us to observe and realize the person's potentials. It gives people a sense of mystery, akin to the saying. I think later we will see, once we see Brother Chin, you will know lah. This reminded me of him. Okay, akin to the saying, a truly capable person does not need to show off his talent. One who shows off his talent is not a truly capable person. There is another saying, we need not be reminded of how high the sky is, for it speaks for itself. We need not be reminded of how deep the ground is, for it speaks for itself. We need not boast about how capable we are, for our action speaks for ourselves. We need not be reminded of how water can flow, for it speaks for itself. Most of us used to experience this situation after one conversation. We regretted saying something we shouldn't have, or created confusion or misunderstanding to us. At times, we also regret of not saying out something we should have said, so we didn't say out. So there's a lot of all this during the conversations. This 金丝语 金丝 aphorism well reflects the said importance. Speaking less is better than speaking more. Speak good words is definitely better than speaking less. Speak skillfully is better than speaking good words. Speaking skillfully means at times not speaking or to stay silent is more appropriate than speaking. So it's like the idiom, speech is silver, but silence is golden, is gold. So this is the skill or discretion in speech too. People may wonder, what skill is there if it's just not speaking? It is actually the highest state of cultivation. Being silent itself is how we convey message across. This is called silent speech, or Dharma taught with silence. For example, sign language performance is a type of silent speech. Dharma is conveyed through sign language. It is a silent way to guide others. In fact, during our experience, performing sign language can even make the other person tear. See how powerful it is. This is a story Brother David gave to us from Socrates. Actually, it's a joke according to Brother Liu. Once there's this great philosopher, Socrates, he organized a class to teach people how to speak, the public speaking eloquence and skills in public speaking. So every student, they have to pay $10 to attend. So one day there is this young man, he came to register. After paying, the young man told Socrates various reasons why he wanted to join public speaking and the benefit of it. Okay, like talk in length. So after finished talking, Socrates asked him to pay an extra $10. The young man was not happy and asked why he has to pay extra $10. Socrates replied, other students only pay $10 because I only have to teach them how to speak. For you, you have to pay extra 10 because I not only have to teach you how to speak, but also to first teach you how and when to keep quiet. So this story taught us that how to remain silent also requires learning. There is this saying, smiles can solve many issues. Silence can avoid many issues. I think so. Normally, like husband and wife, okay, maybe I share from my parents. I noticed my mom, she used to talk a lot, but my father, he always keep quiet. So this reminded me of now I see the strength of my father. Okay, for example, okay, like the story above, this young man, if he could stay silent, he could save his $10. He don't have to pay the extra $10. So in face of criticism, a well-cultivated person, a wise person, can better abide in patience, forbearance. That's why Master said the two things that she remember every morning, gratefulness and endurance. That's why Master is this wise, virtuous, cultivated person. So instead of jumping the gun, the person can keep his composure, be patient, and not make any response. Just like when the music is played, people would naturally follow the beats and start dancing. But if you don't respond to it, the game is over. Will end there. Similarly, if you stay calm and don't respond to criticism, it will just go away eventually because it fails to receive reaction from the other side target. That's why silence is essentially our own inner world. If you know how to make good use of it, it is as valuable as gold. That's why the saying goes, silence is golden. Next. is when others are talking, how to be a good listener. This is very important skill. It's both sides. Aside from good speaking, there's also this good listening. Most of those with good affinities with people are good listeners. That's what Brother David said, very important, these good affinities. So being good listeners can also have good affinities. This very important, famous person, Dale Carnegie, is an expert in communication and interpersonal skills. He says that being a good listener is the greatest way to respect and compliment the speakers. Not only would a good listener listen attentively, but more so able to digest the contents and understand what the speakers wants to express. Master Cheng Yen is an exemplary in this manner. No matter which volunteer gives their sharing, Master Cheng Yen would listen quietly and attentively. For many of us, we may think that the speech may be ordinary or repeated, but not for Master. Master listens with great respect and patience. At times, Master would provide insights from the sharing that we deem as typical, but that's why Master could form such good affinities with everyone. There are 3 principles to be good listeners. They correct our bad habits of speaking faster than listening. The first one, when the speaker stops talking, don't rush to take over the conversation. Some people are not talkative or they're eloquent in their speeches. When they try to express their opinions, they feel uneasy. So we should be patient instead of interrupting their thoughts. Don't show our uneasiness by trying to make a quick response. Else, it would cause pressure to the speaker and he would feel stressful. I'm thinking this one often, the care recipients, let them take their time. On the contrary, wait patiently and let the speaker calm his nerve. Eases him down by convincing him that it's okay to take his time to recollect his thoughts. Tell him that we would listen when he's ready to talk. So when the speaker pauses, do not quickly attempt to take over the conversation. I think also apply for young children when talking to us. Second, when the speaker is complaining, don't immediately point out that he is wrong. At times, the speaker is filled with grudges. We should not express our own opinion or attempt to correct him immediately. Sometimes all the speaker needs is a listener to his dissatisfaction. He needs emotional support rather than our opinion on the right answer or the right answer. If we immediately criticize the speaker or give him solution, he may feel that we are not at his side. We don't have this empathy. We're not embracing and not accommodating enough. This is the part where I translate as I need to do better this one. Okay, the third part, when the speaker apologizes, don't immediately berate him. When the speaker says sorry to us, don't take advantage of them by telling them off. This is just an act of pouring our negative emotions and anger at them. We should let them explain why they thought and react in such a way in the first place. Only then we can find out the triggering source of the issue. A good listener only listens attentively, take in their speeches without interrupting, but also provide responses that motivates the speaker to talk more. Okay, these 6 no's. So to be a good listener, we need to avoid saying these 6 sentences. First, don't say, this is the way things are, as though there is nothing we could do. It is like the other person should just accept his fate. If we say so, it means we are attached to our own opinion. No matter what he says, it's just the way things are. The other person may feel that we are not accommodating and not understanding. We should think in their shoes. Okay, second no, don't say, oh, it's like that as a reply. This sounds hopeless and helpless. It shows our indifference or lack of concern to what the other person says. I think sometimes it's like, maybe multitasking, we're doing something, when the person talks to us, oh, it's like that. So the person will feel, we are not listening, we don't have concern. So be mindful of that. The third, don't say, actually, in the past, so we should not divert the center of conversation to ourselves. People are talking about themselves, then we talk about ourselves. It's an interruption that pulls the attention away from the speaker, as if we are not listening to him at all. We should focus on this person, on the speaker. The fourth, don't say you're wrong. This is often spoken. We are too quick to discern right and wrong. It is as though we are the judge and cause the other person dislike talking to us. It's like talking to a judgmental person. Okay, 5. Don't say it's not like that. Okay, reminded me of someone. Okay, one of the volunteers I used to last time in the past always said, it's not like that. It's not like that. Okay, so if we rush to refute their speeches, okay, this is okay. So we don't say like that. It's not like that. So if we rush to refute their speeches, they would not like to talk to us further, as we often negate the thought. Everything also no, like so don't say this sentence. The 6th one, don't say, I think you should. At times, the speaker just wishes to express his feelings to someone, to release tension or blow off the steams. So we need not be too anxious and quickly give the solution. We should just allow the person a chance to release the stress. Both listener and speakers have to master the art of speaking and listening with wisdom. There's also the art and wisdom of silent speech. A despicable person speaks a lot, but they are empty talks. A noble person speaks less, but they are the truth. A wise person calms the mind, thinks it through, and then only they speak. An unwise person speaks before he thinks it through. Even though in daily life, we admire those who can speak well, but in Chinese tradition, there are a lot of admiration and praises for those who could keep quiet, to say less if it is not good speech. Today's topic is to learn when and how to keep quiet and be contemplative. Someone shared with Brother David that language is not that important. At times, it's the body language and expression that is more important. It's also a higher level of cultivated state of mind. To those that need you, your mere presence already means a lot. This apply we can see to just by being close to them, having us, it's already a great strength to them. It's like Buddha took out the flower and Venerable Kasyapa smiled, resonating each other like a boat masters who could understand master's style. Such is the beautiful state of silent speech. Okay, with that, I'm most grateful to brothers and sisters for listening. In fact, all these are from Brother David's speech. It's not from me. I'm most grateful to Brother David's. And for our next session, let us invite Brother Chin to host the interactive session. Over to you, Brother Chin.
Morning. Thank you for the wonderful sharing, Sis Su Ching. Okay, so now we are at a totally open session for the next 20 minutes. And we will have anyone who want to post any questions, what Su Ching has spoken. Totally open session. You can share your personal experiences and your observation. And as usual, I suppose after hearing from Sister Su Ching, you're going to keep your noble silence. So Sister Su Ching has shared, obviously speech has its demeanor. So we need to be mindful of our ways. We have obviously the 4 precepts of the speech. And that's what our Master has been guiding us to be mindfully to uphold those precepts of the speech, especially to the precept of avoiding false speech, but to speak truthfully, not to undertake derisive speech, to speak harmoniously, and undertake not to speak harsh speech. So we need to speak politely. And obviously we need to avoid idle chatter and to speak meaningfully. So that's the precepts that we need to mindfully upkeep. But more importantly is maybe we can hear from some of your sharing of your experiences. So maybe I can call upon maybe Brother Joe. He's here on his thoughts on this.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks to Brother Chin to call on me. I think we're all practicing the art of listening, and I think just like what Brother David said, and also what Sister Su Ching had mentioned, that we don't want to pay extra for the speech lesson. We we all listen. We don't want to pay extra to learn how to listen first. But that's why everybody chose the silence, not try to reply. But first of all, thanks to Brother David. I think when I joined a bit late. I was still going back to my notes about today's Wisdom at Dawn, and then reviewing. And then I heard, when I came on, I heard a little bit later about Brother David's reply to some of the questions. I think this goes back to Master early on about questions about family, about household, about your children, about how to best cultivate. And I think that combining that with Sis Su Ching's sharing, I think Master had done wonderful things to many people, for many people, because she's a wonderful listener. I think almost for all cultivators and also spiritual practitioners, perhaps the first lesson that is most important is how to listen. And how to listen isn't just about what you say afterwards, but it's also about what your facial expression and also how you make the people talking feel how you are listening. And I think maybe that's one of the lessons we can learn is when we're interacting with Master, it isn't the content of the conversation that conveys wisdom. Sometimes it is the body language. Sometimes it is the expressions that Master gave. And I often thought about what is going through her mind when people are saying things. And little did I pay attention to the external, how Master maintained her composure, or how Master maintained what she wants others to be perceived. So I think all these are very important. It's not just I mean, look at if we listen to what Brother David answer for some of the questions, especially the 19-year-old question. I think many of these answers we knew already. Brother David basically organized similar answers together so that in one sitting, we're able to hear, the organized version of the answer. But we knew the answers, right? Role modeling, right? Making good affinity, the question about mother-in-law, all these are something that we already knew. So how do you make it so that something that we already knew can come out to answer for itself and become our own answer? I think that's also part of the art and the skills of listening and the skill of speaking. A lot of it is to inspire the answer that you already have within you. So that's my response to Brother Chin. Thank you for giving me the first take on this, but I look forward to listen to more sharings afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Joe. As you spoke, a thought came to my mind, and when we listen to the Dharma, I find that when we listen to the Dharma carries the answers. But why is it that we find it difficult sometimes to understand the meaning behind the teaching? But the reason is because I find the Dharma carries the answers. Problem is we don't know the questions. And so, and I just want to call upon Sister Riani actually. For me, one of the things is that when we listen, why we need to be listening so mindfully at what Sister Su Ching shared is that when we listen to the Dharma, we listen to the questions in our heart. And that's where we can realize the profound meaning of the teaching. Okay, Sister Riani, I know she obviously have interesting experiences when it comes to the practicing of the speech. So maybe Sister Riani, you can share with us your experiences. Sister Riani, are you there?
Yes, I am not expected you to call me. Ayo, this one I practice the speech because
Yeah.
I need to read diligently. Most of the time, it's very fast for me to react rather to respond. So yeah, actually I need to learn how to keep silent or else I can make the condition is worse. Okay.
But then when you try to keep your silence, how do you do that? I mean, obviously there will always be thoughts that arise in your mind the moment you keep silent, isn't it?
Okay.
And when you tend to react within that moment of silence, they will react to you with a speech, right?
Yes, yes.
So how do you do that? How do you keep silent then?
I just calm my mind first, then I just speak to myself. I don't want to make the situation worse, so I just keep silent. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So I guess high silence actually has this mystery for you to discover. That's why we always must always say, we need to contemplate, and we need to contemplate from the teachings that we've learned. So silence always carries this mystery, and it's for us to harvest that what the mystery and the teaching is. So maybe by now, next one, I can call upon Sister Yvonne on your thoughts on this, on speaking and listening. Sister Yvonne? Okay, Sister Yvonne in this post. Oh, Sister Yvonne, yes.
Thank you, Brother Brother Chin. Good morning, all brothers and sisters. So actually, it got to do with our mind consciousness. Many a time, because we are very ordinary, right? We in the plain language, we always call it automatic reaction. Our ego will rule first instead of the other one. We call it the 6 or the 8 consciousness. So I always fail many times because of responding instead. I will always react because this really need mindfulness and vigilance. Master's teaching is very true, the words that she said, every day she ends with being mindful, right? I only learned it recently from Brother Chin, right? Be mindful of the external, be aware of the internal. So this one now really sink in. Truthfully mindful of the yes, very powerful. But that time don't know how to use until you share it. I think two Fridays ago. Be mindful of the external, meaning to say whether because our causes condition or even a karma is sometimes is being imposed by others because they can make us angry, they say words that make us sensitive and so forth. So be mindful of the external. It's not only about walking in the masses, it's about how we react to where people can trigger us to create the unwholesome thoughts. So it's a very powerful words that Master has been saying every day, but I don't know how to use it. But now the realization sink in. Be mindful means be mindful of everything that can impact you, whether from people, matter, policy, of anything. And I like this one word that can remember. Be aware of the internal, meaning to say we observe how we are reacting. Our mind consciousness, the sixth sense, are reacting to the sixth dust. So are we getting jealous? Are we getting sensitive? Is there a rising of impatience? Is there a rising of anger? So I think if we could keep this in mind, the keyword, be mindful of external, be aware of internal is not actually about our internal cultivation, our own reaction. I think for me, it is a step to improve. And you have given me one method. If I observe my impatience or my anger is arising when I in listening to my home brothers' questions or feedback. If I couldn't control my consciousness, my ears consciousness, or even my mystical ego, the number 7 consciousness, you taught me to chant Om Mani Padme Hum. So when I am aware of my anger arising or my impatience arising nowadays, when I do CBI duty, which I'm going out shortly, I shall remember to chant Om Mani Padme Hum. And Brother Chin, for the 2 keywords, be mindful of external, be aware of your internal, and also I tie that with the words that you have given before. Observe the external, watch the internal, control your
Mind.
desire of the heart, and be mindful. And
Master
be
your
mindful
mind.
of the emotions of the mind. Also powerful word. It's so short, but it does stay. Kanan for that, Brother Chin.
Excellent. Thank you, Sister Yvonne. You know, one of the key things, the best thing to practice the art of speaking and listening is the one closest to you. All right, we have Sister Sharon. Sister Sharon from Sydney. Would you like to? Yes. Nice to see you again.
Good morning, Brother Chin. Good morning, Brother Joe, and good morning, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, just like to share and see, I'm not sure, just share with everyone and see whether my thoughts is right or not. But from today's teachings, I find it really wholesome, starting from Brother Chin to Sister Su Ching, and everyone sharing actually. It is, for myself, I think what I learned today is really patience. Patience is the words that I kind of pop up in my head today. I need to cultivate patience. It starts from Brother Liu's questions just now, between mother and son, you know, and that is how to build affinity with the son so that we can send the message through to the son. Again, to me, it's like really we need to cultivate patience, because sometimes you talk again and again, it doesn't go into the mind and all that. So it reminds me of like, yeah, in this situation, I can really resonate with myself as well. So I need to cultivate patience. And same is the mother-in-law and, you know, ourselves. Again, if mother-in-law can be very stubborn, doesn't want to listen, again, we have to try to build affinity and cultivate our patience again. We got to be really patient, be tolerant, and repeat again and again. And maybe we can't even achieve our goal at the end in this lifetime. I don't know, like, you know, some people might, you know, it's really hard. The mother-in-law will never get what you're trying to tell her, but still we have to be very patient instead of being angry and frustrated about it, or give up on the whole situation, or cause a fight, or you know, be angry. And then like what Sister Su Ching sharing just now about the 3 principles of being a good listener. And all this again, it comes back to being patient again. When people talk, most of the time we don't listen, you know, so we must try to listen, and you know, that's what Sister Su Ching said, you know, don't jump into conclusion, don't jump into or don't talk over people as well. And sometimes we do. So we have to again be very patient, listen, and maybe contemplate a bit before we answer or something. And this remind me, just remind myself to be patient again, because sometimes I think for me, I always feel like I have very little time, you know, and I do so much, a lot of things from here, do this, do that. And when I see someone, I quickly talk. I say, and then today's lesson just remind me, okay, you can only do so much. Forget about it. If you can't do, you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can't do 1, 2, 3, 5, never mind, you do 1, 2, 3, do a good 1, 2, 3, forget about the 4, 5 kind of thing. So be patient and give time to the person, also give time to yourself. And that's how we, how to cultivate ourselves first, you know, just like, you know. And this is something that I think I learned today. I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong, but yeah, it's a good reminder. Thank you so much for this class. I really, really enjoyed it, because every Saturday I learn something. And then
Thank you, Sister Sharon. There's no wrong lessons. There's always right lessons. So I'm sure you'll find it very beneficial and apply it, and then you can share again next week when you come back and the lessons learned. So we have next, we have Sister Lena from the US.
Oh, hi everybody. Thank you for
You're calling from which part of the US?
oh, LA. So yeah, because Yihua sent the link.
right.
So
Okay,
I
right.
joined you everybody like a couple of times. But thank you. But yeah, I think I came in time. It was very helpful. I came when Brother David was talking about there's so many goals in the sky, but then when we need it, there's nothing we can grab. That's kind of remind myself. I listen to the master's talk every morning, but taking notes a lot. But so many things to come, to take in. What should we do? So definitely. From what I learned a lot over time is that we really got to be positive, like taking, see the good in everybody and everything that we do. Just wanted to share about listening. I'm an optometrist, so I check people's eyes. When I first graduated, I used to work for a laser doctor who does LASIK. I would make my recommendations, and then people will, either follow the recommendations, or when I say, okay, this is not good for you. And, either way, I hope they would listen. So one day, there was this lady, she's not qualified to do LASIK. So, and I explained to her very patiently, but then she just said, she just have to do it. She's tired of glasses. So she raised her voice and I raised my voice, and she raised her voice higher. And then I just got all upset. I'm not a person who gets upset easily. So, and then of course, nothing got resolved. So I went and talked to she wanted to talk to my supervisor, who's an ophthalmologist, who's a surgeon. So I talked to him the situation, and then he went and said, okay. He went over there, listened to her calmly, and then talked to her very softly, and then he's pretty much said the same thing as I did, but she listened. Just like Brother David said, a lot of times, you create good affinity, and you just need to be calm and you be soft-spoken, and then people will listen to you, and I learned my lesson that way. So, okay, just my sharing today. Thank you.
Yeah, Sister Lina, hang on there first. You got an interesting point. I'm just wondering that, doctors, especially dentists, because of the profession, they tend to speak more because they speak, they listen to the patient, and then they speak, right? Especially for dentists, you can't, the patient can't speak. So is the dentist been talking all the time? And then I find that applies to the teachers as well. I mean, do you find that, for doctors, dentists, and teachers, whether they are good listeners? I'm just wondering, because of their nature of the profession.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I never want to be a dentist, because I couldn't talk to the patient. So I did take that into consideration. So I think so. And then they have to, teach people in such a short time. There's actually no time for feedback, right? It's like always go, right? Like if you don't mind me sharing another thing, like just yesterday, I was seeing this patient, and then she was sent to me a couple of times for diabetic check, right? I checked her and talked to her, said, okay, you might have glaucoma. I need to send you out to get an evaluation. And then she said, no, I don't want to go. Did you go? No, I don't want to go. Why not? Oh, she said, oh, because my son-in-law is a doctor. And then he said, I don't need to go, right? So I'm like, okay. So now I learned to be calm, and I don't take things personally, right? So, and then, but Master's been saying we need to find out what's the reason behind it, right? So I listened and said, okay, so what kind of doctor is your son-in-law? And then she said, I don't know. Okay. And then then I'm like, okay, does he even speak Chinese? Okay. And she said, no. Okay. So now I know the reason, right? Because they can't communicate well. So maybe she's listening just from her daughter, but then they don't, it's not a good communication. So I said, okay, I'll write this note for you in English so you can give it to him so he can see. So that way, maybe, you'll listen to him next time and go go see a specialist, right? So, so I'm really thankful for the Dharma talks, and thankful for Brother Joe who comes in and share. And thank you for Yihua for sharing this site. I learned a lot today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Lena. That's all the time that we have. Actually, we're supposed to end at 8:10. Are there any more who wish to share?
Brother Chin?
Yes,
Please
yes,
share a
Sister
quick
Stephanie.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
quick
go
one,
ahead.
yeah. Okay, today is a very
we can extend it, so don't hurry. You can take your time.
So I think I'm really grateful for Sister Su Ching. Actually, it's all connected today's lessons, as we saw from Brother David's sharing, Sister Su Ching sharing. And I want to bring up what Brother Joe said just now. It's not what we say, but it's also our facial expression. It's not the content that conveys the wisdom, right? But it's the body language and the facial expression. And Brother Joe went on to say that how Master sits with composure and so much patience, endure all the volunteers sharing. So I want to share something is that just happened last night when my youngest daughter told me, actually yesterday, last night, she woke up late, and then she woke up late from her nap, and she told me that she wanted to go cycling, and she hasn't been doing that for many days. So I was quite anxious about it because she was recovering from her COVID. But anyhow, so when I saw her still, hanging around the house, I just call out her name. I got probably the expression like, Yana, what are you still doing here? And she got mad, she got mad, the little children, they cannot control their emotion. Then she got mad. And then she just took off with her bicycle and was quite concerned, she took off like that. And then when she came back, and then we start talking, then this is what she said. Mom, when you, it's not what you say, but when you said it, it looks as if the sky has fallen or I have committed crime.
Wow, that is
So
powerful.
that's why she was angry. Yeah, I said, whoops, that wasn't what I meant. I'm so sorry that I made you feel like that, but that wasn't what I meant at all. She said, yes, when you say things, sometimes you over-exaggerate. You become dramatic.
Wow, that was a very powerful statement that came from your daughter.
That's why she said, that's why I was so angry, because it looks as if I've committed crime. Oh, so this is very powerful. So great lessons today. Thank you so much.
So that must be an awakening moment for you to realize where you are.
That, how people react to us actually is a reflection of really what we need to learn, what we need to practice.
I find that the greatest way to practice the art of listening and speaking, it's actually with the one closest to you.
Yeah,
and also with the spiritual family now, because Sister Yvonne is laughing as well. Yes, Sister Yvonne.
So I must go in front of the mirror and practice my speech. Yeah,
you always, because we are so nice and very certain informed with our Dharma family, we behave our best behavior. But actually, the true test to whether you have passed the test or the Dharma that you're learning, put it in practice, is your new one. And then most of the time we fail, in terms of impatience, in terms of anger, the 6 paramita that Master taught, like patience and so forth. We always fail when we are with our near ones, because that's our true color. And actually, like you always said, the one nearest to us is actually our greatest teacher, for us to correct our habitual tendency.
Yes,
right.
It's a lot to correct.
Absolutely. And remember that the other point was, to practice full time, right? So we just wear not the uniform and go home and still in practice. There's no part-time bodhisattva.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, we didn't realize actually we are doing part-time bodhisattva. We are only bodhisattva when we wear such a uniform. But we are back with our own family. We forgot, no? We are back to our habitual tendency. So there's something, I think, it dawned on me about what Master said, being mindful actually is good.
Brother Ho, you're on screen sharing mode. Brother Ho.
Something?
Yeah. You want to, Brother Ho, you got something to share? Brother Ho? Brother Andy Ho,
That's
right?
Brother Andy Ho, Andy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So any others who would like to share their experiences, like what Sister Yvonne and Sister Stephanie has candidly shared, which could be very useful for us all, or they're all perfect? Right, great. So before I end this session, I think just to quickly wrap it up, obviously, I think the topic that Sister Su Ching has shared is very useful for our practice. So when we listen to the teachings, especially when we listen to the Dharma and when Master speaks, like from my discovery, Dharma carries the answers, but the question is for us to seek. So we need to mindfully listen. Do not listen with your ears, but listen with your heart and listen to the questions in your heart. So my closing remark, I just share this with you. And a lot of this time, especially at work or when we, in the course of our practice, there's always question and answers in a conversation. And, you can tell how clever a person is by the answer he gives. And you can tell how wise a person is by the question he asks. But you can tell how noble a person is by the silence he keeps. Okay, thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for making this session lively and joyful, and for all those who silently listened. Okay, so we now close the session, but we will offer our 3 bows to the Buddha. Okay.
Okay. And Brother Chin. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence. Hope each of us could sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Masters in Hualien. Let us invite Brother Chin to lead us to making 3 bows. Brother Chin.
Bow. Second bow. And the third bow.
Okay, and Brother Chin.
You also offer 1 bow to the abode masters.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for to me, it was a fun session.
Can we take a group picture? Sister Stephanie, group picture or not?
Yeah, correct. Let us all, remember this moment today by taking a group photo. Who will take the photo? Sister YY, right? Sister YY taking photo. Okay. And Sister YY.
I want this on
Okay.
your video. All right.
Yeah.
Smile your sweetest smile. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3.
And then Sister Su Ching going for veggie promo, Sister Su Ching.
Cảm ơn everyone, cảm ơn brother Joe, brother Chi, brother David Liu, Sister Stephanie, wonderful thing. All the sisters are for writing. 哎呦，真的很多有人感恩。
Wonderful session.
Sister Sharon, Sister Hui Ying for the note, Sister Epi also 感恩大家。Take care, stay safe.
Thank you.
We look forward to the moon moments again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next Saturday.